Welcome to our CyberTalks interview series. I'm Wyatt Cash on behalf of CyberScoop, and I'm here today with Zain Ahmed, Regional VP for Federal Government at Lumen. Zain, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Wyatt, for having me.
So first, let me ask, there's been a lot thrown at Chief Information Security Officers in 2020. From your perspective, how has 2020 changed the role or trajectory of the CISO's job at enterprises?
Well, the global pandemic, COVID-19, has had an impact on all of us, right? And more particularly with CISOs, their threat landscape has just expanded beyond their control as they would deem it within the network itself. And CISOs now have people working from home, cloud applications that are getting access. How do you secure all this big over your threat landscape? And security plays a larger role, more important than ever in 2020 for the CISOs. They have to quickly deploy and apply these policies across the board, and the endpoints are dispersed all over the place. So it just created a bigger landscape that you got to manage. We at Lumen were even asked to accelerate some of the TIC 3.0 pilots that we were doing in regards to remote workers. So and we've seen healthcare vertical itself come under a great deal of attack from adversaries.
Well, as you know, workforces are now so much more distributed than they were just a few months ago. What concepts do you believe have been of greatest help to make that shift for CISOs between things like zero trust or multi-factor authentication or micro-segmentation?
Yeah, I just love the buzzwords as they go around. Let's break down and simplify it. Zero trust is the framework that encapsulates everything. So two-factor authentication, micro-segmentation, all that fall under the zero trust umbrella. And just simply put it, zero trust just means that trust no one inside or outside your network. Everybody has to go through an authentication and accreditation process, and which applications or data will they have access to. I believe the zero trust shift has, from a mentality perspective, has already started in the federal government landscape, and it's only getting accelerated with the COVID-19 pandemic that everybody's experiencing, and getting that into place, given your threat landscape is all over the place with cloud as well as remote workers. You got to make sure nobody gets into that information unless they have the proper reason to be in those data sets.
Well, next, I'd like to explore a little bit about emerging technologies and supply chain concerns. So, as you know, IoT and 5G technologies continue to come online in the United States, and that obviously means more being brought in-house to handle those improvements. So, and with those come some supply chain concerns. So, how should enterprises collectively handle those concerns while still also making sure that we don't fall behind technologically?
That's a great question, Wyatt. This is a good time to discuss what Lumen is doing for the public sector. We offer a platform that powers the Internet of Things. 5G to us is just another access methodology to get to the information. So you treat it just like your wireline, treat it just like being in the office or from your broadband home service. These are just ways to access your network or your data sets and automate policy to be more effective. With the Lumen platform, workloads are successfully deployed closer to where digital interactions occur that improve user experience, increase application performance, lower cost of infrastructure, and reduce security and compliance risk.
Well, and lastly, as cyber threats continue to grow in sophistication, organizations face a persistent challenge in recruiting skilled cybersecurity professionals, capable of protecting their systems. How do we as an industry and enterprises collectively close those cybersecurity gaps, and in particular, those in the education and training landscape?
Yeah, closing the gap is a challenge for everybody. There's just not enough cybersecurity expertise out there. And it takes a number of years to get to the kind of maturity level that you would want to get to address all of it. That's why I really believe industry and government partnership are helpful in this area. Working with a partner like Lumen is key. At Lumen, we have a deep pool of cybersecurity expertise. Our Black Lotus Labs, for example, is constantly monitoring the internet, and we actively work to shut down nefarious actors. Knowledge and expertise are really important. they just don't come from a book. They're hard-earned, going through actual experiences. And we're proud to have so many talented professionals working with us and helping the government to secure their perimeter.
Well, Zain, thank you so much for taking time to join us here at CyberTalks and for sharing your insights with us today.
Thank you, Wyatt.